Well, I'm sitting here in our 2021 Sienna. We've got a little over 20,000 miles on it now, and I'm just going to give you a quick update after 20,000 miles and about, I don't know, a year and 3 months or so now. And just an update overall on how we feel about the van after 20,000 miles. So let's go ahead and get to it. So here we are at 20,006 miles, but after 20,000 miles, you can see we're averaging 33.7 miles per gallon. Honestly, that's pretty good. It was higher. It was up in the 34 and a half range maybe over the summer.
Awesome!
But it's winter time now, and we have the ski racks back on, and so
Did someone say skiing?
when you put the ski racks on, it definitely takes a toll on the gas mileage. But overall, 33.7, we're really thrilled with that compared to the 18 I think we were getting with our old Gen 3 3.5 liter V6. So pretty happy overall with that. One of my big gripes still with this car is the cup holder situation. It's funny how many people have commented about how picky I am about the cup holders, and they're like, hey man, those things were designed to fit a soda can or whatever. And I'm going to show you these ones. Like, this is a standard 12 ounce can. This is a bubbly water, but they, in fact, I don't think were designed to fit a soda can. It doesn't even fit in there in the bottom all the way. Like, you put a soda can up there. My wife uses this giant contraption because it'll hold a big water bottle. So we, as dumb as that is, we just drive around with this thing. But this one will hold a coffee cup or a big water bottle. These ones fit small stuff. They fit like a Starbucks cup just fine. But I mean obviously this will stay here, but it doesn't stay stable. I mean, it wiggles around while you drive. So most of the time we're fighting over that cup holder up front. The wireless charging port up here, complained about that early on. Same. We just literally don't use that. It's completely wasted. I'd just as soon have just like a piece of like rubber.
This thing is completely useless, by the way.
To be able to put something there. That charger is honestly a complete waste. We have started using Apple CarPlay a little more. Again, you have to plug physically into this port to use Apple CarPlay, but we have been using CarPlay a bit, and it's doing pretty well. We don't use it all the time, but we're starting to use it a little bit more. All right, for the back cargo area, what I ultimately ended up doing that has worked really well, we've been really happy with, is I just modified a moving blanket. So this is just a moving blanket, and I just cut it to width and then sewed this little piece on the edge to keep it from unraveling or whatever. And then it's a little bit longer than, and so I just tuck it in here, like it's just tucked in all along here. And we keep this in here most of the time. One, it keeps from, junk staining, your interior, which is nice, so it keeps that clean. But it's also pretty easy. It's a little slippery, so we can slide stuff in and out. And so this has actually worked out really well. When we put the seats up, we just fold the blanket up and throw it in the back. But really happy with the moving blanket option back here. While we're back here, I had touched on this seal coming off. I mean, we're just careful with it. It still, pulls off pretty easily, but we've just kind of adapted to not sitting here and pulling the rear seal off. I still feel like it should have been glued better, but whatever. It's everything else is working pretty well back here. Pretty happy with this power outlet. Used that several times. I'm actually pretty happy that they put a 1500 watt power outlet in this van. That's pretty awesome. Quick side note, one thing you're going to have to do if you want to enable that power outlet in the back is to turn on this AC 120 volt button after you start the car. Sometimes I plug things in thinking they're going to charge during a road trip or something, and then I forget to hit that, and that has to be enabled in order to enable that outlet in the back. It doesn't just come. One thing that does happen to us actually more often than we'd like is, this has the foot sensor thing underneath. So if you kick your foot underneath while the key is in your pocket, the rear hatch will start to close. Well, that's happened to us on accident a ton of times. Like, you might be up here trying to load something. I don't know if it'll happen right now, but you accidentally bump. It seems to happen a lot when we're putting like our ski boots on. Like, we'll be up at the ski resort and we're putting our boots on, and one of the kids will accidentally get their foot down there, and it'll do that, and it'll start to close on you. And then so we have to like stop and hit the button with our finger and then catch it before it closes on you. But it happens by accident, I think, more than it happens intentionally, which is a little annoying. I suppose we could just disable that feature, but it is convenient a lot of times as well. Love the mirrors that automatically fold when you lock the car. That's fantastic. Really, really happy we use that feature a ton. Really like this auto parking brake. This thing's been awesome. Put it in drive, turns off. Put it in park, automatically turns on.
It's so simple.
Heated and chilled seats in the front. Absolutely love that. They work fantastic. Me personally, 3 is too much. My wife uses it on 3. I often use it on 1. But if you need to have the seats cooled during the summer, they work fantastic. No complaints about that at all. It's a great, great feature. I complained early on about the lack of a DVD player or a Blu-ray player for this thing, even though it comes with this screen. You can plug into the HDMI port down there. Here's what I can tell you about the screen. I thought this was going to be like a super big deal not having the player and everything, but we have used this screen exactly 0 times. We've never used it once since we've owned the van. I'd be totally fine if it wasn't there. We've just kind of adapted to using, phones and tablets and stuff for trips, and just planning ahead and downloading movies to those, and it's been totally fine. So I'd be totally fine if this wasn't even in the van. Now, I think they did get some feedback though, because for 2022, I have heard that they brought a Blu-ray / DVD player option back into this van. So I think a lot of people still missed the ability to just play discs on this screen, and so they brought it back for 2022, even though it was not an option in 2021. So overall, like I gotta say, we're pretty happy with this van. We had one pretty big mechanical problem. There was a problem with the main hybrid wiring harness at the 2 months into owning it, and we were actually, this thing was at the dealer waiting for a part for almost 2 months.
Are you kidding?
And so they had us in a rental van during that time. But outside of that, overall, this thing has been pretty much maintenance free, and I mean, just doing the regular maintenance on it. It drives nice and comfortable. It gets great gas mileage, and just in general, we're pretty darn happy with the van. One thing I should probably throw in there that we're really happy with also. Let's take a look at the tires. So these are the Bridgestone Turanza LS100s. These are not run flats. They do make this tire in a run flat, but these are not run flats. After 20,000 miles, I've still got quite a bit of tread left on these tires. Like, they've been rotated about every 5,000 miles. I can tell you that this set of tires on the old V6 Sienna, on the 3rd gen Sienna, these things would have been toast by now in the all-wheel drive. There's no way these would have any tread left. I was lucky if I could get 20,000 miles out of a single set of tires on the Gen 3 all-wheel drive. It just notoriously ate tires. So I'm really impressed. I expect to get probably at least 30,000 miles out of these tires.
A long time, baby.
Which is, again, almost double what I could get out of the old ones. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then the other part, speaking about tires and just the all-wheel drive system in general, this thing handles really well in the snow. We go skiing a bunch, we live in the mountains, and this van does fantastic in snow. I don't expect to ever have to put chains on it. I carry chains just in case, but I don't expect to ever have to put chains on this thing. It just handles really, really well, and overall, really no complaints about the handling or performance of this van. We're pretty happy with it overall. Okay, that's it. After 20,000 miles, there's some of the things that we like and maybe still don't like about the van. The cup holders still suck. But yeah, overall, we're pretty happy with it. It's a good choice. If you need all-wheel drive, this is definitely the way to go. Gas mileage is great. It's a good van overall, and we're definitely happy with it. So let me know what you think. Throw your comments, good or bad, down below. If you found this helpful at all, please consider subscribing. And other than that, thanks for watching. Have a great day.